Joining us now with reaction, former NYPD Detective Bo Dietl, Fox News senior correspondent Geraldo Rivera, Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clark is with us. You know, this is now targeted assassinations. This is an ambush. This is lying in wait to kill America's police officers. What do we do to stop this, Sheriff? This has got to stop.
Well, you know, I'm angry at this point. It's beyond comprehension anymore, and all of the words that we try to use just don't cut it anymore. The bloodbath continues for the American law enforcement officer in the name of Black Lives Matter. And I listened to the president this afternoon, and he does, he does the, you know, what's required, right? You know, our condolences.
Our thoughts and prayers go out to the family.
Here's the thing he will not do. And this would go a long way, not right away. I predicted this several years ago. If we kept up with this anti-police sentiment, it was going to turn into this. He will not condemn the anti-police sentiment. He condemned the violence. He has to condemn the violence. He will not condemn the anti-police sentiment. But when a terror attack happens, he gets out there and warns and condemns against Muslim backlash for the terror attacks. He will not do that for the American police officers.
Let me back up what you're saying here, because this is really important. Let's go back over the years. Obama, over the years, attacking our police officers, and then we'll play, of course, Black Lives Matter, pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. What do we want? Dead cops, when do we want them? Now, those people got an invitation to the White House, and of course, Hillary Clinton is seeking out their advice on criminal justice matters. But let's first go to Obama over the years about cops. Listen to this.
The Cambridge police acted stupidly. There is a long history in this country of African Americans and Latinos being stopped by law enforcement disproportionately. And that's just a fact. The African American community is also knowledgeable that there is a history of racial disparities in the application of our criminal laws. We have seen too many instances of what appears to be police officers interacting with individuals, primarily African American, often poor, in ways that raise troubling questions. Last year, African Americans were shot by police at more than twice the rate of whites. African Americans are arrested at twice the rate of whites. There's a big chunk of our fellow citizenry that feels as if, because of the color of their skin, they are not being treated the same.
Geraldo, let me make a point to you. It'll take me a second. 3,470 plus people killed in Chicago, his home city, since he's been president. He's mentioned Chicago 9 times over the 8 years of his presidency. He rushes to judgment in Cambridge with Trayvon Martin. It could have been me 35 years ago. He could have been my son. Michael Brown, same issue. Look at what the facts, look at what black eyewitnesses exonerated Darren Wilson. Rushes to judgment, no facts, no due process, no assumption of innocence, but he's quiet about a much bigger problem in his own home city. Does that rhetoric of his, does this rushing to judgment, does it contribute to an atmosphere against police officers?
I don't think that there's a person in this country that is as loves cops as much as I do. I've grown up with cops. I've been with cops.
Same here.
I've been to too many cop funerals. The president has an extraordinarily difficult position that he may not have done as well as he could have in terms of balancing the real concerns of the black community and the real concerns of cops. But I would rather direct my wrath, if you give me 30 seconds, at Gavin Long, this 29-year-old who said bloodshed is the only way to end oppression, and the first person he kills is a black cop with a 4-month-old baby. I mean, how does that further
it's a cop.
the justice? How does that
let me ask Sheriff Clark,
I think ridding us of oppression?
I think when you rush to judgment and you don't allow due process for cops, and you have 3,470 dead people in Chicago in the same time period, you rush to judgment in Trayvon, you rush to judgment in Cambridge. You've rushed to judgment in Ferguson. Is his rhetoric contributing to an atmosphere that is now hostile to cops? That's my question.
Undoubtedly. And I said that. I've been saying that. Look, Black Lives Matter is they're purveyors of hate. It is a hateful, violent ideology. It's not an organization. It is not a movement. It is an ideology that I said has to be wiped off the face of the earth. I said that about a year ago, and the liberal mainstream media went haywire about saying it. I remember that. But you know what? They bear some responsibility, too. The New York Times, the Washington Post, the USA Today, and their editorial pages have not written one article about concern for this anti-police sentiment sweeping the country.
Just last week, the McKesson guy from Black Lives Matter was at the White House. Hillary Clinton is seeking out their advice on criminal justice matters. Let's play them. This is what they have said and chanted, members of this group. You've heard it before. And then right after that, we'll go to President Obama praising the group, and he continues to keep inviting them to the White House. Let's play that.
Pigs in a blanket, fry like bacon. 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 Pigs in a blanket, fry like bacon.
Overall, what I am most encouraged by is the degree of focus and seriousness and constructiveness that exists, not only with existing civil rights organizations, but this new generation. They are some serious young people. I told them that they're much better organizers than I was when I was their age, and I'm confident that they're going to take America to new heights.
So, Bo, there's the group chanting, and then they're invited to the White House. And not only did the president say that, he also compared Black Lives Matter to the women's suffrage movement and the abolitionist movement.
You know,
Mike, is he serious?
This whole weekend, all I've been doing is getting in an argument. I was out in the Hamptons, and all people arguing. Neighbors are coming to me and say, why are these cops against the blacks and all that? And as I try to explain what's going on here, that we have investigations going. All these shootings are being investigated. But when you want to tell me that every cop is a racist and that's all they want to do is kill black people, I mean, it's wrong. This president better get hold of this, because this is only going to get worse with that thing that's happening in Cleveland, the convention, and have people able to carry weapons around on the streets. They should go to the law tomorrow, to the legislature, and pass a law immediately so they don't. That could be a volatile situation now.
Listen, Bo, there is nobody that is more pro-Second Amendment than I am on this program. I have carried a weapon my entire adult life. Ohio has an open carry law. Black Lives Matter. The new Black Panther Party,
going to be there with guns.
They have said they're going to be carrying guns, Sheriff. What do we do?
Well, I'll tell you what, those are the people I fear most. I do not fear the law-abiding gun owner. Even
Neither do I, not at all.
Situation. Wisconsin's an open carry
They're looking for a fight.
Right, but until this president, Barack Obama, condemns in strong, unambiguous words the anti-police sentiment coming out of Black Lives Matter, until Loretta Lynch does it, until the liberal mainstream media condemns this vicious ideology.
Said, why are you disagreeing with the sheriff? What do you disagree with?
First of all, I think that the problem with the Second Amendment for everybody is that there are plenty of dysfunctional people.
You want new black? You want new Black Panther? You want this convention? You want the new Black Panther Party
carrying weapons? I don't want white Patriots Party carrying weapons. But let me just say one thing. Montrell Jackson, the black cop who was slain today with the 4-month-old baby, he wrote 2 weeks ago on his Facebook, in uniform, this black officer wrote, I get nasty, hateful looks. Out of uniform, some consider me a threat. He talked about the difficulty. The center must hold. We all have to embrace cops. We have to embrace law enforcement. Without law enforcement, our country is going to go to hell in a handbasket.
Very quick.
The president has to embrace every cop in the country.
Sean, these leaders right now have to grab this and take it in hand now, because this is getting out of control. And as this week goes on, it's only going to get worse. Where is the president bringing in the governors, bringing in the head of the FBI? Show that we're doing something here. Don't just sit back and let this continue to happen. And my son was a victim at the day of outrage here in New York. Little Bo, that you know, was robbed by somebody who had a weapon in their hand.
In New York.
In New York after the day of outrage.
I know your son well. I'm sorry to hear that. Thank you, Bo. Appreciate it. Geraldo, thank you. Sheriff, good to see you on set. Always appreciate you being here.